Interestingly, when you look at the pineal gland, you can't help but notice how strikingly similar its form is to a pine cone. When the great French philosopher René Descartes was posed by the existing relationship between consciousness and body, after a thorough study, he concluded that the pineal gland is the so-called seat of the soul. Descartes believed that this tiny, pine cone-shaped organ provided the opportunity for consciousness to influence the body as a living structure. For Descartes, this organ was the source of power that transforms living organism into a conscious being, able to think for itself. Pineal gland, third eye, and atrophied eye. Since the dawn of time, man uses the concept of the eye as a symbol of consciousness, of internal awareness. We assume that the pineal gland could be a real eye because of its remarkably similar structure to the human eyeballs. We're inclined to think that it's an eye that retired into the brain, and that the brain has closed around it and the skull has closed over it. There is a supposition that if this was prehistoric eye belonging to some actually ancient and remote period, and having no further use for man, because his other eyes are excellent and efficient, that this gland will atrophy. However, that is not the case. And this gland still remains in some unexplainable for us way perfectly healthy down through ages. This is confirmed by an interesting experiment conducted last century, multiple times, with fish left for in a cave where there is some kind of a lake, and after a few generations, these fish are all blind because of the lack of a source of light. However, this eye and the brain doesn't seem to deteriorate. What is the purpose of the pineal gland? It's possible that the function the pineal gland carries is to provide us with insight, or to see something not otherwise visible, to see inward rather than outward things. Alan Watts gives an excellent primer to support this claim. When a man listens to what you say and he says, "I see what you mean," he isn't looking at anything, it's insight he is trying to tell you. That he has become aware. Another widely popular belief in our community today is that this gland is the secret of our sleep-dream phenomena, and that it's this gland that makes the dream remembered or forgotten when we awaken. In the human brain, we can find a small body called the pituitary body or pituitary gland. One of the simplest things we can liken it to is the thoughts of an old alchemist. It looks very much like a bottle. It has an anterior and posterior pod and secretes a material which is called patatrint. What are the gifts of the third eye? In India, a tradition exists to place an extra eye on the forehead to indicate a power of superior sight. The third eye corresponds to the sixth chakra, Ajna chakra, in the human body. They teach us that we have no more than 5 senses. A pair of physical eyes and ears, and that's it. But the third eye has more to say about that. The third eye gives you an expanded consciousness or altered perception of reality. Meaning you can see things that you wouldn't necessarily see, hear things you wouldn't possibly hear. It enables you to grasp the fact that there is more beyond the material world. The third eye isn't a real eye that appears on your forehead. It's a metaphor of discerning truth from lies. And accessing the third eye provides you an opportunity to see the world beyond your line of sight. This means that you acquire the ability to see fascinating things, auras, spirits of people, animals, and trees. You start to pick up information, visual, auditory, sensory, unattainable when you limit your mind to the boundaries of the physical realm. The third eye can awaken man's vestigial intuitive gifts such as clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, clairsentience and much more. It all depends on the stage of spiritual development of a person. Keep your connection with your pineal gland, third eye alive. When babies come into this world, like nowadays highly gifted indigo, crystal and rainbow children, they are exceptionally psychic and sensitive at first, conserving a strong bond with the spiritual realm. But as time goes by, many shut down these abilities, losing the rewarding connection with the spiritual world. The main reason for this is particularly because of improper school education or of a trauma in their childhood years. In conclusion, the third eye and the pineal gland are essentially one and the same thing, when referring to awakening forgotten psychic abilities, seeing into the spirit dimension or experiencing higher levels of consciousness.
Hello. Did you know that the exact recipes for developing miraculous, physical psychic abilities like telekinesis, teleportation, radical healing, materialization and many others have been known for thousands of years? Ancient texts from India give the exact methods to develop these skills, but these conventional methods take years, even decades of meditation and grueling dedication to master. Fortunately, a remarkable new training method has been discovered that can awaken these dormant powers that you already possess much, much sooner. And with far less effort than you can imagine. Learn to make honest to goodness, physical miracles with your mind power alone. Let Miracle Mastery take you by the hand and lead you through the step-by-step exercises that will get you there. See the link in the description to visit the All Things Psychic website so you can learn more about Miracle Mastery right now.